Howdy folks, yeah, I'm over here. Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy, GroovyMusicLessons.com. Yes, I'm making this video again. Why? Because people just don't get it. Okay, what this one is about is the same thing it's always about. And I will be repeating and repeating and repeating things. Why? Because it's a new video and people have to come here to check this one out. They've already seen all the other ones. Again, this will show you what happens when you try to tune guitars, and when you try to detune them, when you try to go to an open tuning, when you simply try to do a drop D tuning, when you try to do a drop anything, when you change one single strings tuning but not any of the others, so like I said, like a drop D, or if you try to use the it's going around on everything now, used to be called the mini tune that were on the back of the headstocks of Gibsons. Now they're calling it G-Force, and they're putting them on some Fenders too, and they're supposed to automatically tune your guitars to standard or E-flat or drop Ds or dadgads or anything you want to program into it. And let's just get into all this. Okay, I'm going to be using the one axe that everybody thinks is wonderful, and I'm not using this because it's inferior in any way. It is a Gibson Custom Shop Ace Frehley Les Paul, no Chinese bullcrap. This is the real deal, as anybody who knows me knows. I don't deal in garbage. So, real deal, as solid as it flipping gets, as heavy as I'll get out. Okay, over here, yes, up here I've got the, I hate to do this, but just to prove, see right up there, I've got a few of these sitting up here. These are the, the Con Strobo tuners and so forth. I've got a bunch of these laying around, the Petersons, blah, 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 blah. They are fabulous, especially for setting intonation and so forth. But they're up there, and I'm not dragging my ass up there to get them, so this will do, and it does great. And I've got probably 20 of these around. These are the Korg rack tuners. I'm going to get it right on in so you can see how many cents are going on, because people with no sense that watch these same videos that I keep doing over and over again say, well, there's only 1 or 2 cents off, so it makes no big difference. I'm sorry, folks, but out of tune is out of tune, and I'm going to show you that things are more than 2 cents off. I'm going to explain a few things to you and try to do it as quick as I can. Okay, I'm going to show you high E. I'm going to turn my guitar on. High E. There you go. It's in tune. B. G. Yeah, when that green light comes on, it's in tune. The note at the bottom is G right here. So it says G and it goes to tune. D over here and it's in tune. A, there it says A, it's in tune. The low E, harder I hit, I'll give it a little tiny tug, and it's back where it needs to be. Okay, so what I'm simply going, you're just going to have to trust me, because I don't have camera, picture-in-picture, and all this bullshit. So anyway, number one, the simple one that I mentioned before, wood bends. There is a ton of tension on these necks, so if you're dealing with guitars that do not have carbon graphite or whatever necks on them, then you're dealing with wood, and you're going to have problems with it. But if you know these problems exist, you can work with them. Okay? So again, if you take a guitar and you lay it just on its back and the headstock is touching nothing, so it's just laying there, I'm going to hit the high E. It's really sharp. B, way sharp. G, way sharp. I'm just holding the body. D, A, and pluck the E with my thumb. That's what it is, just laying on its back. Okay? I know I can't show you this crap very easy, but the headstock is just up in the air. Okay, now you got luthiers, the pros, who do work on your guitar while your neck is cradled in one of those things. The body is sitting on their workbench, and then it's got that little U-shaped neck holder. But they actually do your intonation while your guitar is setting like that. So that's what I've got now. I have the guitar body setting on my leg. I have my hand just open, cradling the neck. E, flat. B is that much flat. G is that flat. D is that flat. A is that flat. E is that flat. That is 10 cents, 10 between, well, look at it now, it's about 12 cents flat. That's more than 2 cents, people. You can't deal with that. So if you see somebody actually doing your intonation while it is on a workbench and in that position where it's got the neck in that little cradle thing and they're trying to intonate your guitar while it's like that, you know you're dealing with somebody who has no clue what they're doing. So know that your neck does bend. When you're playing, I'm just shaking the guitar. Look at that tuner. It's just wood. It's what it does. Okay, now as far as you just doing a drop D, so you have everything, let's check through it after all that. E, B, I'll stretch it once, I'll get it right in. G, I'll stretch it once and it'll go to G. D, fine. A, I'll stretch it once, and there we go. And low E, stretch it once, and there we go. I'll get her in there. There we go. I'm going to detune the low E string to a D. There's the D. I'll tune below it and then tune back up, because that's what you're always supposed to do. Go below the note, tune back up. But I will tell you where this fails in a second, and that's where the mini tune or the G-force, whatever you want to call it, fails big time. Why doesn't it show you that it fails on all these reviews? Because you have people trying to sell this item to you. Okay, so I just did a drop D. I did nothing else to the guitar. Let's check out. We know the D is in tune. If I play it harder, it'll go sharper. Okay, I haven't touched any of the strings. High E. B is sharp. G is sharp. D is sharp. A is really sharp. That's because you went to drop D. One single string let up that much tension just by going down a whole step, 2 frets. So you just made everything else go sharp on your entire thing. So you cannot just tune one string down real quick and expect things to be directly in tune, because they are not. Proof right here. Again, if I wish I had split screen and all that crap, but I'm not doing anything to finagle. I'm doing this to help you, whether anybody ever believes this or not. So I've got that there. I leave it where it is, and I'm not touching anything else. Why would I? I'm going to go straight to a open G tuning, which means taking the high E, drop it down to a D, go past it and back up to D. And then we'll do the A string has to go down to a G. So go below it, tune back up to it. Okay, so I got the low D, the G, and then the high E string tuned down to a D. So we are an open G, right? So let's check our high E string. Since I did all that, it went sharp because I dropped the A string last to a G. Let's check our B string, which we have not touched. Way sharp. That's 8 cents sharp. G string we have not touched. It is 16 cents sharp. D string we have not touched. It is 8 cents sharp. And now we're back down here to where the G string, let's get her right in tune, and the drop D went sharp. Why? Because we dropped the high E string and we dropped the A string. So now that D that we did first, from the low E string and did the drop D, It went sharp now. It's sharp by 5 hertz, or 5 cents, I'm sorry, 5 hertz. Anyway, so whatever you do, it just totally screws your guitar up. So every time you change any string tension, the neck goes out of whack and the other 5 strings go out of whack, just like if you have a whammy bar. You know, not as bad as if you had a floating Fender thing, but any neck will do this. This is one of the chunkier necks there is. This thing is like a flippin' rock. That's why I chose the Les Paul, because it's not a bolt-on. It is solid mahogany. This thing is thick. The neck is like a ball bat, but yet you can, let's see it doing it. So if I tune back up, the high E, back up, and the A string back up, no, it's still not going to be in tune. Why? Now the low E string back up to low E, creeping up on it, so I won't go past it. Anytime you go past it, you got to go back down and then come back at it. That is a truth, but only part of it. That's the only part of the truth that salesmen will throw at you. Okay, so I have those 3 back in tune, and I have not touched the original ones. So your D, G, and B strings have not been touched since the beginning of this video. Okay, now let's see where we're at. Because I tuned the E string, and then I started tuning up the A string and the low E string. So with each time I tune up another one, the string that I just tuned up before it is going to go out of tune. Now they should go out of tune flat. My high E should be flat. It's flat because it was the first one I tuned up. B is in there like it was for the most part. G is off. D is relatively back in. Now A, it should be flat because it was the next to the last one I tuned up. And then my low E should be pretty close because it was the last string I did. Okay, so now I have to tune back up. Now here's the thing. I'm going to tune that back up. I'm going to tune the A. I'm going to tune the whole guitar. Okay, and now I'm going to tune the low E string. Let's check the whole guitar. E, B. Let's get it in tune. Let's get the whole guitar in tune. I'll explain the mini tune or the G-force thing with as little as possible because it will happen for all strings. Okay, what the mini tune or the G-force does, it does just like I did. It goes below the pitch every time you hit it, so it'll go below and then it will tune up to it, which is what it's supposed to do. Okay, because if you just tune down and don't do anything, your strings will go crazily out of tune when you're playing. Okay, so the guitar is agreeably G, get you in there, D, A, E. Okay, the guitar is in tune. I have not stretched the E, A, or low E strings at all since tuning all this. I have went below pitch all the way down to a whole step down for each of them. Okay, the 3 middle strings I have left alone, so there's nothing wrong with them. They're stretched out. But every time you change a string's tuning, even though you go below it, go flat and then come up to it, you still have not stretched the string. So this mini tuner or the G-force, it's all the same thing. It's made by the same company. They just keep changing the name around because they can. And it's not owned by Gibson or Fender. It's an outsourced product. Anyway, so only thing that hasn't been done is, yeah, it went flat and it tuned it back up for you like it's supposed to. It grabs all the strings. It realizes that the wood bends. So it takes these G's and these B's, or the G, the G, the B, and the D strings, and realizes, okay, the wood changed because he, went to an open tuning, and it will tune those strings for you. It will go down below and it will bring them back up. Thing is, nothing ever gets stretched after these devices tune it, or after you tune it. So when you tune back up, even if you're using the mini tune or the G-force, I'm just going to play the high E string. Okay, now I'm just going to play the A string. I'll do the Okay, so that was the low E. Now I'm just going to do the A. Okay, so it's just that much. I haven't stretched them. I just played. That's all I did. Let's try to get this thing in focus. Anything there? Okay. So let's go to the high E string. It's flat. Why? Because it was never stretched after it got tuned. It has to be stretched. Let's check on the A. Look at that. 10 cents flat. Low E, 10 cents flat. And I just played on it for a couple seconds. Imagine if, and that's all I got to show you. Imagine if you played a whole song after using this mini tune, or just doing whatever you do. You have to tune an up, and then you have to stretch your strings. And then when you get one string in tune, remember the other 5 go out of tune. It's just the nature of a guitar. It's what a guitar does. It bends. It's wood. If it's not wood, and if it is a composite man-made material, that will not bend. That will be fine. You can tune and do any alternate tunings you want on, like my Rain song, and if you detune all 5 strings except for one, leave one there just for reference, and detune everything 5 whole steps, the other one will still be in tune. Why? Because it's stronger than anything. Wood bends on the most robust guitars with the most hellacious necks. It's just what it is. Tension, you can't believe the tension on here. It's just crazy. So again, it's like having a whammy system on there that is free floating. Again, if you detune or if you raise a pitch on any string, even if it's just 1/2 step, you tune your E to E flat for some reason and nothing else. Look at your tuner and it will show you that all your other strings will have went sharp. Can you deal with that? I guess you have been, but I am trying to shove this down your throat. I'm not trying to be a dick about any of this. I just want you to be aware that before you go out and start buying these products, these mini tunes and all this other junk, that they don't finish the job. It's kind of like a massage, okay, in foreign countries where they used to be able to finish you off. Now they're not allowed to. Well, they're not allowed to use their hands anymore. They can use their elbows and whatever. A true story. So that's all, man. Just know that you change the tension on one string, the other 5 are going to go out. Once you get everything back in tune perfectly and you go below the pitch, you tune it to pitch, you have everything dead on perfect, then you play 15 seconds and every single string will be grossly out of tune. Then you will have to use your mini tune or your G string or whatever, your G force, and tune it again and like 3 or 4 more times before you even get to try to do something, because when you play, you bend those strings and they finally stretch. It's not like if you get a set of strings, you get all the stretch out. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But it's never out. Whenever you detune a string, raise it or lower it, you have to re-stretch it almost as much as you did when you put your strings on there brand spanking new. It's just the way strings work. I want you to honestly just sit around with your tuner and watch this kind of stuff. Do what I just did. I know you can't see me. Before, when I said I was holding it and everything went sharp, I was just holding it like this and plucking a string. When I said I had it in the cradle, I had one hand under here just like it's sitting on a luthier's workbench, and I had it in my hand like this, and everything was flat as shit. You can't adjust your intonation when it's on a workbench. You have to hold it in your lap in playing position. And the best thing to do is not hold it like this, because that makes your neck change. Again, playing position, depending on what your playing position is how you have to set up your guitar, and it will be different depending on what you consider playing position to be. For me, it is with a guitar strap on and I'm standing up. That is correct. If you're sitting down, your guitar will intonate differently, your strings will be in tune differently standing up than sitting down. If you put a strap on it and stand up, it's putting weight distribution on a different part of the guitar. The neck hangs on there differently, and this. The neck just bends if you stand up with it. And then that's just the neck bending. So you standing up and having your guitar like this makes a lot of difference than if you have your guitar like this and you're trying to tune it, or if you're just sitting down like me with it on your lap and you have some pressure on the neck. No, don't do that. Play it, set it up, intonate it, everything with your strap on, not with the strap on. That's a whole different video. But that's the way you have to do it, man. I know you've been getting by with it for generations, and 8,000 total morons are going to come over here from that channel and say, what about Jimi Hendrix? He was always in tune. The least in tune person ever. But they're like, well, how did everybody else get away with it? They just got by. But at least now you have the information. Don't yell at me because I'm trying to help you. Here's just so you understand that you detune one string, they're all going to go out. All of them. Including the one you just did, because you're going to have to go back and tune all the others. When you tune all those other ones, you better go back to the other one that you detuned, because it's going to be out, because you just detuned 5 more strings to try to get them back in tune, and then you got to start over with the string that you started with, that you just want to detune half a step, and because that will be all over the place. So it is a continual mess. So just good luck. There really is that much going on. Look at your tuner, detune something, bring it back to pitch, play some stuff where you actually bend strings, and see if I'm lying. I have no reason to lie to you. I am here to help. Just give it a shot, man. Just know what's going on so that you don't keep wondering why your guitar is so screwed up sounding. Okay? Once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. And once again, I get so sick of this. Why does that guy have to repeat himself? Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 10 times. People, I've had 2 fucking strokes. Shit happens, and I feel I have to pound it in your head because nobody ever gets it anyway. I can tell you 100,000 times, and I do. I know I rattle. But, hey, strokes and shit, they're no fun. I wish them on a lot of people because a lot of people really do deserve it. Do I? No. But can I help that I keep saying things over and over? No, I cannot honestly help it. Edit that out. No. You guys just deal with me as I am, and just trust the stuff I give you because I prove it to you. I show you the stuff, and quit being assholes about everything. Just say, hey, thanks for the pointer, and move along. And yes, if you say anything to try to contradict this, since I proved it to you, I have no need for you, and I will block you and erase your comment, and away you go, because I don't need you people in my life. I'm here to give it to you. You can say thanks, or better yet, just say nothing and try it on your own. Okay? So it's free information. We live in a cool world that can be cool if you be cool. Because I'm being cool, sharing my time, my energies, staying up till my eyes are flipping bleeding, just trying to wait for this high def that you guys all begged for to load up. So, hey, I don't do it for you guys just to yell at me. I'm sick of it, so just be nice. And like I said, say thanks or say nothing, because again, if you say anything else, you're just simply getting blocked and wasting my day. And then you'll just make up another name, and you'll make up another name. There's no point in it. Grow up, okay? So remember, your wood moves. Enjoy your moving wood while you can before the rigor mortis sets in. Okay? You'll understand what I'm talking about someday. Peace. Bye-bye.